Hello guys, my name is Uni and welcome to another video. So today I have a bit of a story to tell you that happened yesterday. So yesterday afternoon, for the first time ever, I got scammed in TF2, which is an absolute terrible thing to experience. But actually, let's go get into the story. So basically what happened was some guy friend requested me on Steam and said that he wanted to trade for my two unusuals and he wanted to do a PayPal trade. Now, when a PayPal trade is mentioned in TF2, that should be a whole extra level of caution that is taken because PayPal and Steam isn't affiliated, so basically that means one person has to go first with the trade and then the other has to pay the money, and you're kind of relying on trust. You're relying on the person who's going to pay you or on the person who's going to actually give you the item that you just paid for. So it's a very trust-centered thing. And there's not really a lot of trustworthy people on TF2 to say, or honestly any game where you trade items. Sadly, there's a lot of scammers or people who shark and fish today, and it's absolutely horrible. So you have to be very, very cautious when it comes to trading. That's the reason why I'm making this video, so hopefully you won't have to learn the lesson by experiencing it yourself, and hopefully you'll learn from my experience of this. So basically what happened was, I accepted him and I said, oh, why don't you go buy buds and keys and whatever, yada yada yada. And he says he didn't want to get it from various people because that would take too long and it would cost more money. And then he asked for my PayPal email address. But beforehand, he sent me a Steam rep of his profile page. Now, if you don't know what Steam rep is, basically it's a site where you can put someone's Steam profile in and it will tell you whether they're a reputable person, whether you can trust them or not when it comes to trading, or whether you shouldn't trust them at all. And his rank on that site was Steam rep admin. Now that is one of the highest ranks to get on that site. That basically means that you're a very highly trustworthy person and that you've never scammed and that people completely trust you when trading. Now, to be honest with you, you should never rely on that site, and you should never completely trust anyone when it comes to trading. You should even, like, 50% trust them. Even if they seem like a genuinely nice person, you never know what their hidden intentions are, because this guy had a great act, and he definitely knew what he was doing, and I had my guard a little bit down, and he took advantage of that. Now, before you guys write in the comments, oh, you're really stupid and you deserve to get scammed because you're dumb when it comes to trading or whatever, let me just say that I'm a very wary person when it comes to trading. Whether it's PayPal or just general trading, I usually look at the person's profile to the nines, whether it's even money or not. And I've never gotten scammed before this, and I can usually easily point out a scammer, but I guess my guard was a little bit down and the crappy person took advantage of that and I got scammed. So basically we're going to go and jump to the part where we actually do the trading now. So I've traded in my two unusuals, which is my Francis Pride Purple Energy and my Berliner's Bucket Helm, which was the hat that I unboxed in the last video, which is my first unusual that I've ever unboxed. Now, so we've completed the trade, and he asked for my PayPal email address, and the first thing that every scammer says right after that you've traded with them is, oh, I didn't get the items. Now this is a terrible, terrible excuse because Steam actually shows in the history that they've received the items, and right away I checked their backpack and I took a screenshot that they had the items. And then they said that they typed in my PayPal email address wrong and they switched up the two first letters and that they would pay me tomorrow. Now I knew this person had absolutely no intentions of paying me tomorrow because if that was the case they would have just given me my items back. Now at this point the nervousness and the kind of sadness just completely sunk in super hard. I was so nervous and upset and sad because I knew I had gotten scammed and that I had lost my two hats that meant the world to me. Now with this being said, I messaged my friend Cora, who's pretty much an expert on TF2, and without him the story wouldn't have ended the way it did. So thank you, Cora, and I have a lot more people to thank at the end of this video. Basically I messaged Core and he told me to go file a Steam report and a Steam rep report to get him banned on Steam and on the Steam rep site. And basically, if you don't know, Steam has a policy where if you trade and you get scammed, they will not give you back your items. It's a rare chance that they will, because basically Steam says that you're reliable and responsible for your own decisions, and if you get scammed, that's your own fault. And that's basically not the thing I wanted to see or hear, so I had to actually go in from the source at this point, because Steam Rep couldn't do anything either. And basically what the scammer did was he quick sold the hats, both of the hats, to some random guy for 37 keys, which is a really low deal because that's only like 1.9 buds, maybe less than that, so that's just under 2 buds pretty much, and each of the hats are worth like 2.5 buds, so obviously the guy wasn't gonna not accept the deal because it was an absolute great deal. And luckily enough, Cora messaged the guy, and the guy was willing to sell the hats back to me for the price he paid. Now, I did end up getting my hats back thanks to Cora and Winners for actually paying for the keys for me, so I don't have to rebuy it. And a whole bunch of other people, the Steam support, yada yada yada. So many people to thank, because without them, especially Cora and Ones, I wouldn't have been able to get my lovely unusuals back. So in the end, it did work out. Sadly, I did have to pay the price of having to rebuy the unusuals, but I'm just really happy that I got them back. And hopefully this treated this as a lesson for you guys to learn. It definitely treated me as a lesson. I'm kind of not really even interested in trading in the slightest anymore after this happened. So hopefully you'll be very, very cautious when it comes to trading, because I do not want to see this happen to you guys, because that would be very terrible. I can't even explain how terrible of a feeling it is after getting scammed. So also, I do not recommend trying to scam people, even if it's like a huge profit you're gonna make. It's just a really terrible thing to do, and you can get in a lot of trouble. But I want to thank Cora, as I said earlier. I want to thank Ones, and I want to thank the guy who actually sold back my hats, because he could have been a complete ass and sold them back to me for the full price instead of the price that he paid when they were quick sold. So I appreciate that, so thank you guys so much. And yeah, so I hope you learned from this video, and if you did, make sure to like up the video and comment down below if you want to see some more TF2 or be specific on what TF2 stuff you want to watch. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Uni, and peace out.